I ain't gonna be done forever.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hit the button. And I make sure that I see it. 1 moment. Yep, we're live. All right, we are live. Let's give it just a couple of moments. Make sure folks are in here. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, live. All right. Just ask everyone as you come in. We'll give like 30 seconds for folks to get in. And everybody can stand in the pose of adoration with us. All right, Hennetter, it's up to you.
So I said, okay, Mott, I bet.
Okay, I bet.
So welcome back to our him when we're as we apologize for missing everyone last week, but we are back as we prepare for this is a sacred time as we prepare for what we learned from Dwa R Hrw. We prepare with the opening of the way. So put your left hand forward, your right hand slightly back, your left foot forward, and your right foot slightly back. And then you begin with the word of life, which is Amen. Take a deep breath. Network in the head. Look in the head. Network happy. Look happy. 2 hours.
Enter.
Turn to your right. Network circuit. Look circuit. Network captain. Look captain. 2 hours.
Enter.
Turn to your right. Network ask. Look
Ast.
Network
Onset.
Look
Onset.
2 hours.
Enter.
Turn to your right. Network neat. Look neat. Network
Duamut.
Look duamotel. 2 hours. Turn to your right. Network Nope. Network Look. Yes. 2 hours. Turn to your right. Network
Shoot.
Network taffy.
Look, Teflon.
Dwa R Hrw. Metrak out into look out into metrak into
Look and move into
look and move. Take a deep breath. Oh, what? Dwa.
We know that today is a special day, but we want to make sure that we, before we get started, just do what we normally do. We always give our flowers and we always pay homage to Baba Heru Ankra Samaj Sekata for the opening of the way in its current formation that it is. And today's tribute will be a little more in depth than just the basic flowers. So I do want to say a couple of things before we get into everything. I do want to, with permission, go ahead and say a prayer for Baba Heru and his family, if it's okay with him, Netter.
No problem.
Alrighty, and then we will. You go right ahead, sir.
So as before the prayer, I would ask that we do everybody get a ritual. If you're at home, you pull out a candle, and so we can light a candle to Baba Hrw.
All right, I'm out of state. I have water. I'm offering cold water for Baba.
So as I have lit my candle, I showed everybody my candle is lit,
This water.
and as we call the ancestors, as you get ready to offer the prayer to Baba Hrw Samaj. You may go, and as we pour libations and everything else, we get ready to pour libations to the ancestor as he becomes an ancestor.
Dua. Hetep di Nesu, Ma'at Neter A'a. Giver of truth and balance, we come before you in reverence and in love. O Neteru, hear us as we lift our hearts and our voices for Baba Heru Ankh Ra Samaj Sepata and his family. Founder of the Shrine of Ptah, chief elder priest of the Shrine of Ma'at, sacred Ankh carrier and gatekeeper who opened the way for the Kemetic legacy of our time. We give dua for your life that you lived, for the truths that you spoke, and for all of the Ma'at that you saruj. May your Ka be strong among the shining ancestors. May your Ba be soar with freedom into the arms of Ra. May your Rin be forever spoken in the mouths of us, the living, and etched on the hearts of the Kemetiyu, like the Meter on the walls of the Merikuti. As Ptah shaped the world with divine thought and word, so did Baba Heru shape the path for us to walk. As Ma'at sustains the order of creation, so does his legacy sustain us in this age. We pour cool water for him, that his spirit may be refreshed. We burn a candle or incense for him, so that his name may rise with the fragrance to the heavens. We speak his name, so that this life and his will never be forgotten. May Baba rise in power, and may he guide us from beyond the veil. May he walk in Ma'at in his light heart be shown as Dwa R Hrw in the land of the Dwa and Amenta. Dwa R Hrw. If we can all just take a moment to speak his name, Baba, Baba Hrw. Dwa R Hrw.
Tuanunata.
Mm. All right. As we proceed in today's services, we all know that things hit a little different today for us all. So I also want to extend that prayer to our elders, to you, Himnetter. You know, I know that many of you had closer relationships and spent more time with Baba than many of us. So I want to let you know that we are here for support, not just in others, but for you and the Winwet and in Tepi, um, as we can be. I also want to make sure that you all are aware that our Health and Wellness Committee, Sin Curtis, is going to be opening up an hour Zoom room for any members or any committee you that have the need for support or even want to just share moments of experiences and gratitude for Baba. I will put that link for the Zoom in the chat before we close out today. So if anybody, please take advantage and utilize that. It's there for you. We can all get on and, even if it's silent and just moments of reflection and gratitude, that will be available to everyone that can hear us. On another note, we did have two birthdays this week. I know I'm doing this a little out of order, but with the way things are, I just wanted to get those things out before all the emotions get get to. We had our Sin or Koku. He had a birthday this week, so happy solar return, belated solar return to you, Sin. We also had Sin Jason Edwards, who had a solar return this week, and we want to wish you back love and that's right, that's right. Um, I think that with that being said, we can get into today's reading.
So as we begin today's reading, I will be coming from spirituality before religion. So we are into chapter 6, page 188. The book of coming forth today by night, page 188. A prophet is not a psychic. A prophet is an excellent historian. When you study the past, you understand the present that will allow you to predict the future. It is always important that we can apply the wisdom of the past and the present to project ourselves into the future. The book of the coming forth today by night offers many allegories that can be used as guideposts for us in our daily lives. While I find my great metaphors in every chapter, I have chosen chapter 43 of the book of the coming forth today by night because it guides the reader to unite themselves, their families, communities in the world with the cosmos to become one again. This concept infers that they were united with the Creator before conception birth, then separated from the Creator when they were conceived, born, living their life searching for union with the Creator, finally reuniting with the Creator afterlife. So, coming chapter 43 views the Assyrian drama from varying perspectives. The Ancient authors discuss the cutting up of a saw's body into 14 pieces as a person who is disassembled and whose body parts are separated and scattered to various places in Kemet. It becomes the responsibility of the Neteru, Jehudi, Aset, determination, and Nebatet, intuitive instinct to find the body pieces of a saw. In order to put them back together again, Jehudi, Aset, and Nebahet journeys representing the living journeys of human beings while mirroring Asaw's journey of resurrection for the example of the judgment of the human being's soul in the next world. While the ancient authors spoke of this journey of liberation after death, they simultaneously compared this after death spiritual experience to humanity's daily life. They stressed that there was a relationship between life and death on earth. A spiritual allegory describing what happens when a human being dies and their heart soul is judged for their life's work. A metaphor for Pan-Africanism, the unity of African people worldwide. Just a word about the differences between Asa and Ani. Asa representing the living person, the total journey of a person's experience on earth. Ani represents that same person's heart's soul that is being judged for his thoughts, words, and deeds during their lifetime journey. Joined together, Asa Ani is the deceased journey after death in the eternal temple of immortality using the life of the deceased. Dr. Richard King, clinical psychiatrist and specialist in the study of the melanin molecule, tells us the origin of Ani. He refers to Ani as the collective people called the Anu, the original ancestor of the African human family is called the Twa, the Mbuti or Moeshi. These Twa people are also derogatorily called pygmy. Africans symbolically honored their original ancestors by naming them Anu in the book of the coming forth the day by night. They enshrined their ancestors as a netter named Bess, Dr. King tells us. This is an abundance of Kemetic reference to the Great Lakes region between the Baku eastern mountains and the Manu western mountains of the moon as the site of the origin of the river Hapi of the Hapi Nile. This source of Hapi Nile is the abode of the oldest Kemetic god Beth, an Anu Twa person from the Great Lakes region of Queensland. It will take advanced studies in multiple fields such as science, physics, electromagnetism, neurochemistry, and music to answer these great scientific questions. We must explore the question of what special and perhaps unknown energetic field relationships exist at the equator of the planet that promotes the unfoldment of upright, working biological systems called conscious humans. Queensland comprise the countries that today we call Kenya, Uganda, Tanganyika, Rwanda, Congo, and Southern Africa. Over millions of years, these original humans educated and civilized themselves. They evolved from Australopithecus robustus to Australopithecus gracile, then to the tool maker Homo habilis, the human of great ability. Homo habilis learned how to use their environment by making tools that advanced their lives. They truly developed an advanced economy, Dr. King continued. It was from this I knew that the very use of the spoken word, symbolic postures, signs, the seven-word rhythmical song, dance, the emotional charged memories, of the past experience of bloodline genetic ancestors. Current rewards Current records have confirmed the common origin of all humanity from the same Queensland Great Lakes region in northeast Africa before 7 million years ago, and subsequent later regions east into Ethiopia and Asia, north to Egypt and Eurasia, south to South Africa, and west to Chad, West Africa, and North Africa. Anthropological records confirm that the first 5 or more of the past 7 million years were spent in Africa, with only the last 2 million years seeing Hominid ancestors migrate out of Africa, beginning with Homo erectus. The current branching of the hominid line shows that our Homo sapiens species is roughly 200,000 years old. This stock again originated in Africa and then migrated out of Africa onto every continent of the planet. The Anu were the first humans to travel across the earth, the first humans to become conscious. Knight recorded the need for the human being to put themselves together, to unite first with themselves and then with others in life, and then to unite with the Creator and ancestors after death. Each human is born with many different aspects in life. The Syrian drama speaks of these many various personalities using the Neteru as these characteristics. Throughout life, humans gather these characteristics and respond to life's challenges by evoking these entities from within. At times, these personalities might antagonize each other. Other times, they live in harmony. As we mature, it is expected that these Neteru or natures will learn to live in balance. This Mayan lifestyle will provide the human with higher order thinking skills that evolve into the greatest great, which is cosmic consciousness. If a person is able to achieve the greatest great of life, it is expected that they will be able to live this way in the next world. If the deceased lived a Mayan life, he is considered to have retrieved his head in life because they were able to get it back after it had been taken from them when they were born. He was able to come to the realization that he is the creator having a human experience. This chapter asks the creator to allow them to keep their head, the consciousness in the next world. As we say, Ashe.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. It's very fitting, um, especially in the week that what we're dealing with Baba. Even to go further, where it says what he says with the chapter of not letting the head from man be cut off from him or her in the underworld, where it says, Asar Ani says, I am the great one, child of the great one. I am fire, child of the fire, to whom was given his head after it had been cut off. Since the head of Asar was not carried away from him in life, don't let the head of Asar, in our case, don't let the head of Asar Baba Haru Ani be carried away from him in the next life. I have knit my bones together and it back after it had been taken from them when they were born. Oh, sorry. I have made myself whole and sound, and I become young once more. I am Asar, the Lord of eternity. I'll show you that. Very, very, very good. Book of Coming Forth by Day. Again, that was chapter 6 out of Spirituality Before Religions. I love how he basically breaks it down into a more, when you're reading some of the, like if we're reading the Reyu Perkim Heteru, some of these explanations that Kaba has provided for us gives us a better, more in-depth breakdown, especially as it applies to the African spirit. And again, earlier in the reading, you mentioned those key three words again. Also, a person's what we touch on almost every week: thoughts, words, and deeds. Um, so to be D Ma'akeru, we can claim to be anything, but what we think in the end of it, when it comes to us entering into a menta, you can't pretend this for anyone. You can't hide from yourself, so to speak, which we've said that before as well. So I think it's very important that we make sure that our thoughts, words, and deeds are aligned with Ma'at in this world and in the next world, just like the text reads. If you are able to live a Ma'atian life here as we exist in this human form, the transition in the next life should be swift and sweet.
As you say, it's important. Like you said, he was able to to realize that he is the creator having a human experience. The the chapter acts that the creator allowed them to keep their consciousness, so
Mhm.
that they can enter into the next world. And that's the greatest of experience for they retrieving their head and their life, understanding when they go back to their existence, when before existence, as Baba said, before existence existed. So
Mhm.
this is what of what we pray that be the retrieving of Baba as he goes into to the afterworld.
Absolutely. And for for the years that I've known him, for the years that I've seen Baba, for the years that I've heard his voice, for the years that I've watched his studies and studied, the things that he studied, certain things. Um, Now, we are not the scale holders, but I can truly be a witness that the man lived a testament. It measured up. His thoughts, his words, his actions, his deeds, they measured up. We would not be, many of us would not be here today in our in this great family that we've built and that we're continuing to build. Many of us would not even fathom the thought of having these conversations or doing the work that we're doing had it not been for Baba. Had he not been a police officer who was proud never to have had to yield his gun and fire upon anyone. Had he had not been uh, a man with all the garb and as he would put it, joyery, walking the streets of New York. Many would not be where we are right now had he not been spitting the game on those corners. When the conscious community was hot out in the streets of New York, it still is today, but when it was thick and they were all out there making sure that they were heard so that they could get our minds out of the bondage that we were once in. Had it not been for Baba, many of us wouldn't be sitting here. Many of us would be still donating to the building fund. you know. So I think that this here, speaking of Sa'ani and what is said in reference to the head, to him keeping his head and his consciousness, even so in the duats on his journey. I can only raise the vibration and pray that he is able to keep his head, because in this world, the man was very conscious. The man was very aware. The man had his head. So it would be unfitting for him not to have it in the next. You know, we've seen so many posts and all of some people have never even met him and the man meant that much. Some people never had the opportunity to be in his presence and he still meant that much to them. So that is, if that in itself is not a testament of a person who has truly guarded and minded and been conscious of his thoughts, words, and deeds, I don't know what is. You know? And just imagine that, touching people who have never met you, who have never sat at your feet, who have never been physically able to hear the sound of your voice, but yet you've been able to reach their hearts. That says a lot.
So, as you speak of the head, if you look over to the next page, it says, "I am the great one, child of the great one. I am fire, child of fire. To whom was given his head after it had been cut off, since the head of a saw was not carried away from him in life. Don't let the head of a saw, Ani, be carried away from him in the next life. I have knit my bones together. I have made myself whole and sound. I have become young once more. I am a saw, the Lord of eternity."
Ashe, for sure. Ashe.
So,
And I do apologize for doing things out of little out of order. We didn't set the feather this morning. We didn't. I didn't necessarily go into giving out the flowers, but you know our thought process, and I Saruj my out with that because again, just like we speak of weekly, we come to the conclusion that our thoughts, our words, and our deeds must be aligned. So I do Saruj my out with that for not continuing in the order. I was, you know, still processing. In other words, you know, we're processing. This is I don't want to say it's a sad time because truly it's not. It's not. If we're calling the passing of Baba Heru sad, then we are really missing the bar here. Now, tears come. We get, you know, every one of us that's had whatever the connection we may have had with Baba, tears will flow. You know, that's natural. But to call a time sad, it's selfish and it's unfair because this is what his work was all about. So that when this time came, it would matter just as much as it is. So I do believe, you know, I have to be, we all have to be careful with making it so sorrowful because it's not. Many of us don't get to live the age that he has and been able to do all the things and touch as many lives as he has. So again, I just say forgive me for doing things a little out of order today. You know, I tend to fall into the call of duty, and I also feel the responsibility of even taking care of him netter here. Him netter here, he shows up for everybody. Well, we got to make sure we're showing up for him as well, and giving you all the space that you need, even, you know, to take your moments and take your time with everything. So just know that I'm here for that for you, him netter Waziri as well. Just, you know, you all need the same support as the community does, you know.
and it's very important for people to know that if you are dealing with anything or whatever that the Creator has made in your life, we are praying for you, and know that we constantly ask that the Himneta will come forth and be able to guide you through this, and know that you are not alone. We are with you, praying.
That's right. Always. Always. I want to make sure I do not forget to get that link so I can post that here on the page. Again, the Health and Wellness Committee is going to have a Zoom room open for anyone interested. And I think that, if I'm not mistaken, he's going to have it open for an hour. I think it's going to be 11 to 12. And I also believe that today is our day for Comedic Ascension. And I haven't heard that it won't be held, you know. So I'm sure that there'll be more tributes. I'm gonna get with you, Himnetter, to work on some things that, you know, whatever our contribution is going to be, but at least, you know, trying to compose a slideshow for our shrine and members who have had experiences. I've been kind of trying to steal pictures as people post them, and videos, so that I can come up with something collectively to present to our shrine. Maybe next week we'll have that available so that people can kind of see a memorial or tribute. And, we'll, as things progress, I'm hoping that as many of us as possible that can be there in whatever way, in the physical form, for whatever memorial that will be coming down the pike, that we can all pull together and try to do that and show up and support and celebration of Baba Hrw. But let me grab this link real quick so I don't forget. And then, yeah, Jason, I'm gonna go and look in the comments too, because we have quite a few comments. I just want to take a look here. Let's look at the comments here. Let's see. Actually, it's probably easier for me to look here, but I want to get that.
And also, to let the bed know that I spoke with Ntepi, and he said that tomorrow is the fall equinox.
So tomorrow it is.
It's at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock at the Tekken in Central Park.
Okay. So I do see some folks in here. True of thought, word, and action. 2 Senaton. 2. Senaton also says the Messer Hrw won't let you lie. That's correct. Then we have Yashira Sakina Ra, walking it as you talk it. That's right. Jason responded when we were talking about, and somebody else said, so many of you, all of us members, I personally have never had the opportunity or the privilege to go to the Shrine of Ptah and purchase joyery. So had it not be for the Shrine of Ma'at and becoming a member, I would not have that sacred piece of Baba Hrw. So shout out to all of everybody who was able to get a handcrafted piece of Baba Hrw's. That's something that I will cherish forever. And I'm sure all of you will as well. And Jason had mentioned joyery. Yeah, that's exactly. I apologize. I was looking at the comments here. Correct meeting ID is. All right. So I see that. St. Curtis actually did put the meeting ID in the chat, but I'm going to take the post that he had sent me through Messenger last night, just so that everybody has that. There we go. Copy there. Let's see if there's any more comments. All right, so there's there, and it's there in the chat. I'll also put that on the private page as well, just so that everybody has that. In other words, Zeri, I'm not sure where he went, but I think that is all for the day. And yeah, like he said, you'll cherish yours for generations. Yes, I'll even be passing mine down, Senaton, because I think that this is a man whose legacy, whose name will be spoken well after. Like celebrities, certain celebrities, they've passed on well before our kids and kids, but they know their music. He's going to be one of those. He will be spoke of forever. And I know that we have a charge, family. We definitely have a charge. Yes. St. Jason, yes. As far, and if I believe St. Curtis is here, so St. Curtis, if you'll chime into the chat to let them know if that is Eastern time. I believe that that is true, Eastern time, St. Jason. But I just wanted to say before we even do our closing prayer that all of you who initiated Do the Shine, uh, we all had been given a charge by Baba. He showed up multiple times. There's a video, and he gave even the wind wet. Before our time came to be members of the shrine, we were given a charge. And in so many words, Baba told us to always remember to follow the standard of Ma'at. He was one of the main, I would say, revivalists of this legacy. We have a duty to step up and step in. We cannot let the elders make their transitions and their work be in vain. So we have a duty to carry on the torch as it is being passed on to us. And don't think he's not watching. He will always be watching. He will always be with us. The ancestors have opened their arms and this man was welcome. When he arrives, I don't see his journey getting to the other side being a struggle. I think he had more of a headache here, more of a struggle here than he's going to have in the afterlife. So as a community, I truth be told, so-called conscious community, us committee you. I don't care what you're Hebrew, Israelite, Muslim, Baba touched you. So as an African, we must uphold that charge and stand firm and get to work. We've got to get to work. Let his joinery that we all have encourage us and provide us with the energy that we need to press on. And always remember, when you think it gets hard, look at what Baba did. We have not even begun to scratch the surface of that work. So with that, I say, yeah, exactly. 3,000 years from now, we should still be saying that name. Just like the names of all of the others that we mentioned today were written on the Merakut, his name is now written on the symbolic Merakut of our hearts. And it's our duty to write them on the names of the generations to come's hearts as well. So that this is a name spoken as if known. Because if they know us, then they know Baba. Because he lives through us. With that, Hemnetta, is there anything else that you have to say before we close out and give a closing prayer? If there's anybody out there that has anything to add or say, please feel free. As you guys can see, I'm multitasking a little bit better. I got the comments over here, I got the screen over here. And of course, St. Curtis, I do want to say dua to you for even stepping up, reaching out to say that, you would definitely be willing to be a backup when either of us are not here, because I think it's critical that we don't let this, if anything comes up, one of us should get sick, anything happens, and we have to not be here. We definitely want to make sure that this space is always here every Sunday for our members. I think you're muted. Let me see if I can unmute you.
Okay.
There you go.
I said no doubt. Before I just want to hold up the pieces, the few pieces that I was able to get from the studio of Pata. So this is where this is my wedding ring. Right.
Never.
Let me see. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The wedding ring. So Baba was able to put the pieces together. This all goes all the way back to September 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And As you see, this is the piece he did for us in the hymns anew. So we are exactly excited about these pieces
That's
as we
right.
go forward. And again, the ark was done by him and his brother that carved it out. That's Baba Power. So
Power. That's
unfortunately,
right.
his brother had also passed away. I believe last year.
Hmm.
So he has joined again with his brother.
That's right. Well, they're doing more. They're doing wonderful works there now. They have done it all here. Um, we will not let their work go in vain ever. Um, we all made, committed commitments, but now more than ever, people, it is time for us to take action. I want to say to all of you all that are doing the work without needing to be shown or told, just keep doing it. Nobody told Baba to go do this or go do that. Our head netter and Tepe even tells us when he started the shrine and the different things that came up, Baba told him, "Look, what are you asking me for? It is your turn."
That's
So it is our turn. We have we have our duty, we have our charge, and more than anything, I am in the mode of getting to work, taking action. Something tangible that we can actually pass down to our children and our grandchildren and our great grandchildren. You know, to be venerated like this man will be, we can only hope that we measure up. But together we will, and we're doing it. We're doing it. Just don't let any of it fall to the wayside, and always remember, do what you can do. Do the best that you can even when no one's looking. Be honest even in small matters. Don't be boastful and arrogant. Our basic codes, our basic moral ethics. Let's uphold them and be stand up folks so that when it's our turn, they will say, he or she was true of voice. He or she did what he or she said she was going to do. She is who she said she was. He is who he said he was.
Amakaru.
Amakaru. Ma'akeru. Much more to all of you. And today, Hymnetter, why don't you close us out with something?
Okay. So until the ancestors we raise, we want to welcome our favorite ancestor, not favorite, but known ancestors that we are so closely together. We ask that he arrive safely and go through as he has gone through the challenges. We ask that we are there to guide him and help him get there. We ask that you that Ra and Ma'at be there welcoming him. And we thank you for all that he has done here for us. And we are looking forward to continuing the work. It's so important that we look in our hands and we look at what we are capable of doing. We thank you for what it is. And as we pour libations, we ask that the ancestors welcome him into his heart. So we say thank you as we let this candle burn and we remember we will never forget because we are because he was and he is he still is in us. We will begin to believe and understand that Baba Haru, as we say that, we all ask that everybody say thank you, Dua Netta for Baba Haru. Ashe and Amen.
Anet, Duanet, Duanet, Ashe. Well, all right, I bet until next week, we will be with each other in spirit and in myrrh, and we'll see each other in a little while. We have a lot to meet up with this week, so we'll be there for Ascension. And remember that Zoom room will be open. I hope you all saw the link. I'll also put it in the private group just to make sure that you guys have it. And again, we myrrh you. You know we're here. Anybody needing anything, any forms of support, you've got St. Curtis and you've got myself and the boot Waziri, not a boot anymore, Himnetter Waziri. For any type of support or anything going on, please reach out. Never hesitate. And like he said, we're always praying for all of you and we're always with you. Shimmy my eye, everyone.
Shema